So in today's world, who are you supposed to be as a man? What's your identity? Where do you find yourself in the landscape of conversations about you should be this or you should be that? On one hand, in culture, we have somebody like Liver King who is telling us really extreme things. Eat raw meat, constantly take cold baths, sleep on the floor, etc., etc. But there's a lot of talking heads like him, even though we all found out that he uses steroids. Now there's another guy that you're probably not familiar with. His name is John Mark Comer, hidden right here in my tree. And he used to be a megachurch pastor turned wanting to get away from the grind, so he moved all the way in this other direction of kind of helping teach people like, hey, the life of hustle, the life of grinding, all this effort is not where you're gonna be fulfilled, not where you're gonna be happy. He ended up writing a book called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, which is all about slowing down and basically getting to this place in your life where you just kind of stop trying. Now, I'm pinpointing on both of these guys because I feel like there's a personification of the different directions that men are being pulled into. You have one that's this like primal, be a man, take back your masculinity, and the other one that's like, hey, the way that you're masculine is you lean into the more sensitive, gentle, slow parts of you. And we know that there are a lot of voices in both camps. So what are we to do? Are those our only options? Can we only be Mr. Masculine, eat glass in the morning, or Mr. Sensitive, where I don't ever share my opinions and I'm just a floor mat to be walked on? Or is there another option? Is there a different story that we can write and a different path that we can choose? By the way, this is not a window to outside, it's just a window to the rest of the office, and for whatever reason it broke a while ago and they just put up plywood. So obviously I think that's true. I think there is a path in between both of those options. Because what I really like about both of them, their bottom line messages, is that you need to have a life that's more intentional. I think that's the secret, right? That you need to be aware of how you're living, why you're living, and if it's creating the outcome that you want for your life. The hard part is when you are like me and you take a path in the middle, no one gives a crap because it's not extreme. The reasons that they have blown up and people pay attention to them is because they're sharing extreme messages. Whose fault is that? It's our own. We have made that the problem. But life isn't extreme. It's day in, day out, full of a lot of menial and mundane moments. But again, beyond just intentional living, what Liver King and what John Mark Comer are preaching nonstop is that your life can be more fulfilling than it is. That so many people are walking around with unfulfilled life, uninspired, unexcited about what's next, and they're just going through the motions day in, day out, thinking that all the menial and mundane moments is all that will ever be. So here's where I come in. I think that we look at those things, we take them, and we say, yeah, I think those are good lessons. Whether I'm still inspired by Steroid King or not, there's some good things in there. So the bottom line is for you, is you have to create a vision for your life. You have to have an aim. Zig Ziglar used to say that you can either be a meaningful specific or an aimless wanderer. So you've got to pick something specific about who you want to become. And I'm not talking about career. That is part of it, but you've got to break it down even further. And so what we have to focus on, which I think is the heart of John Mark Comer and Liver King, is who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? And what do you want your life to look like? So this is what I talk about with people when it comes to creating a vision for their life. Let's focus on 3 small things: our mindset, our money, and our movement. Because those are the pillars that help us navigate who we want to be. And once we decide who we want to be in each category, we can begin to take action steps that help us get to where we want to be. Because here's the great news about what happens in your life when you create a strong enough vision. You eliminate a lot of comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. It is the thing that keeps people stuck from moving forward. But when you have a good aim for your life, hey, I'm going here, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to pour into my career, I'm going to pour into my family. What happens is you're not comparing yourself to other people anymore because you're saying, this is the direction I'm going. You might take things that you like from them, or you might copy some of the things that led to their success, but you're not comparing yourself to them. When you stop comparing yourself to them, what happens is all your insecurities that keep you from action now move to the peripheral of your life. So you're not thinking about, well, I'm not good at this, or I don't know how to do that, or whatever. Instead, you're saying, I'm heading this direction. I'm gonna learn what I need to learn because I know there's things I don't know. And again, vision, it keeps you from the game of comparison. And the bottom line is, to go back to the opening conversation from this video is, well, which path do I need to choose? Which guy do I need to be? It's none of them. You're not comparing yourself to either of those dudes either, because now you have your aim. Again, there might be certain things they do that you can learn from and they can teach you on your journey, but it doesn't have to do with you having to be just like them. So when you create your own vision, you're then able to say, well, this is the type of man I want to be. I do want to be tough. I want to lift heavy weights, and I want to have moments where I'm resting well and I'm not always grinding, and I'm able to share my emotions with my wife and friends without seeming weak. And that way I can be more pleasant to be around. This is a small glimpse of what I'm going to be talking more about when it comes to figuring out the type of men we should be. So create a vision, take aim, and start taking small steps towards realizing your vision. That's ultimately what success is anyway. Okay, well, hey, if you watched all the way through the video, I do want to make one thing clear. I'm a big fan of John Mark Comer, actually. There was a lot I learned from him, but also I'm not trying to be him. And so I want to take those things from him, learn, implement them in my life. Also, would love if you were willing to subscribe, share, and like this video.